Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Wiscasset Speedway. These are your Spotlight interviews brought to you by Coastal Auto Parts, capnapa.com, with 27 Napa locations across the state of Maine. And it's a scorcher today, so don't mind me or Chris Thorne if we got beads of sweat coming off our forehead. It is a hot one today at Wiscasset, but we do appreciate Chris Thorne coming out. Last time we saw him was at the Coastal. So, Chris, what made you decide to come out for this first points race for you of the year?
Oh, I don't know if there was anything in particular. We just kind of taking it race to race, see how we feel. If we feel like coming, we'll come. If not enough, we won't. But the last race, we just kind of hung around home and just took it easy. But of course, it's 85, 90 degrees the day we decided to come, but that's all right. We're still having a good time. Yeah,
that's what I was thinking. I was just wondering what made you want to come out on the hottest race night of the year so far.
Well, I'll tell you, last weekend when it was like 60 degrees, I would have rather been racing then, but that's all right. We still go around in circles, and it's still just as much fun, no matter how hot it is.
Tell me a little about the Coastal. Right now, the Coastal is kind of like your main concern yearly, and we see you on a couple occasions like tonight, and the Coastal just didn't go so well for you this year. Tell me about it.
Well, it was going pretty good. We ran second for most of the first half of the race, and we're just kind of biding our time, and the car started to go away, at the latter part of the first half of the race, which I kind of expected it would, but we were just trying to limp our way to halfway and maybe lap 120 or so and get some fresh tires. We were kind of saving our tires that sized up a little better for the second half, but we ended up having a ignition wire burn up, and that was the end of the day, but it could have been worse. Some cars went home on a wrecker, so I think we probably could have had a top three for sure. I don't think we would have had anything for Ben, but if we'd have been able to finish the race, maybe a top three. But hey, we still brought the car home in one piece, so that's a win any day.
Yeah, certainly. So on to tonight. After the second round of practice, you are the fastest in practice. I know it doesn't mean a whole lot when you got temperature changing, the sun going down, and you got 40 laps to duke it out, but it must make you feel pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, that's good to come, especially when you're not here every week. I made some changes to the setup last week, something I've kind of wanted to try for a little while. And I was pretty pleased with it in the first practice, and then we put the race tires on for the second practice, and it's good. Just trying to make it go a full 40 laps and be just as good at the end as we are in the beginning, because like you said, practice, there's no trophy or whatever in practice, and I'd like to be on the top of the speed charts and in the first position at the end of the feature.
But being your first points race of the year, you got to start pretty much dead last. Long ways to go to the front.
Yeah, that's okay. We're used to it. I mean, that's the handicap system they've had here for the last 5 years or so. That's how it's been. So I'm usually 15th or worse. So it's nothing new, but it makes it fun. It makes it a challenge. So, when you do get up to the top three, or even if you're able to win from the rear, it's you worked for it and you earned it. So, you feel good about winning.
Certainly. All right, Chris Thorne, good luck tonight. Have fun out there.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, Josh St. Clair, real quick, couple questions. Chris Thorne's back. You must be excited to see him maybe duke it out with you guys. You guys always get along good.
Yeah, of course. It's always good to race with Chris. He's always fast, and he always beats me. So.
He's beating you in practice right now.
I see that.
His first time back for a points race.
Yeah, I'm glad that he took right off where he left off, But he's got 4 new ones. He'll be fast, but he always is fast. It don't matter if they're new or not. So I look forward to seeing him. I miss Andrew. Them guys at the Class X of the class. So, but glad to have him back.
Hey, how's things going for you guys? You racing a street stock tonight too?
Yeah, broke the transmission first practice, so we missed the first late model practice fixing that. Managed to get out for the second one, get them both out for the second one. So they're both okay. It's hot, it's slippery. See what happens.
All right, next up I got David Gatchell. We haven't been around to him yet this year, and we definitely needed to, because this is another guy doing double duty every single week. He's got a pro stock and a late model, and last week in the late model race you got wadded up pretty good, didn't you?
Yeah, we had quite a bit of damage. Lap 1 there, going into 1, we got turned there on entry and pretty much wrecked the whole back of the car. No frame damage. Luckily, the rear end was still straight, but we pretty much put a whole new body on other than the roof and the hood.
Well, that was a shame to see. I always wondered if you had the same car as a Pro Stock and a late model. You know, we saw you out here each week. The car vinyl looks the same. And I was always curious, but, you know, then yesterday I saw White Designs does your graphics, and, you know, he had the picture of both cars in the shop. So were you doing a touch-up on both cars, or just that one that got wrecked last week?
Well, the Pro Stock, we've been waiting for a transmission. Of course, once the season starts, it's hard to keep putting money into a car you're not running, but slowly it's getting there. Hopefully, we're hoping next week to have the Pro Stock out. So that needed vinyl initially as a new car. Then, of course, the body damage from last week, he redid the whole car. He did a hell of a job. He was there at 5 o'clock in the morning and busted it out until he was done. So hats off to him.
All right, so also I'm curious, I've seen you in recent years running the number 66. What made you change to 88 this year?
It was just a collective decision. Bunch of the crew guys like 88. Of course, Dale Jr. fans, and I got relative that used to run 88 for the number. So plus you can't beat the legend Jeff Taylor's got 88. So
yep. Hopefully you can bring some of his results to this car.
I hope so. The Pro Stock's a distance car, so hopefully we can dial that in and pick his brain a little bit.
All right, awesome. How you feeling tonight with the late model?
Pretty good. We're running cautious aggressive. So we're trying not to wreck the car because we're running 2 classes with 1 car. So, but we're doing. I mean, we snuck up to 3rd in points in the late model. So we're gonna run steady, but not put us in the bind where we're gonna get in trouble.
That seems to be the name of the game. Maybe like 90% of the time. You know, you get one race that goes like caution free, and you know the cream rises to the top, the fastest guy. But then you know the other 90% of the time, it's the ones who are patient and can stay out of trouble.
Yeah, we practice terrible. We don't put very good times down in practice. I concentrate more on the drivability of the car. So time-wise in practice doesn't really show, our race results. But we've been around the top 5, hovering around the top 5 most weeks. But real skeleton crew, so I try to get mostly everything done at the shop. But yeah, the car feels pretty good tonight. I'm a little skeptical on. We had to change a couple springs from that wreck last week, so shocks are straight, rear end straight. So we're going to go from there and see what happens.
All right, glad to hear it, Dave. We appreciate you running every week with 2 cars and supporting Wiscasset Speedway, and wish you good luck today.
Thank you.
And here they come to the green.
As Ken mentioned, a stout field of late models tonight, heat number 1 of 3. And this one, we got bumper contact for the top spot. Alex Waltz takes it. As Daniel Harding quickly dropped down to the inside and gave him a little shoot to the rear. But Waltz begins to run away as Frankie Moulton comes up alongside the outside of Harding for second. Frankie Moulton in the 15. Out in the second groove, reeling down your leader now. Sticks a nose to the outside of the 00. Daniel Harding, 12 years old, hanging close to the top 2, but they're stacking up behind him. Jonathan Emerson in the 24, Cowboy Dan Trask in the 73. Top 5, under a blanket, Frankie Moulton takes over the top spot and begins to run away from the pack. Now single file through the top 5, except for Emerson. The 24 is the one that's courageous enough at the moment to try to crack the top 3 up in the second groove. Waltz doing a fine job hanging on to second still as they are side by side for third behind him. Daniel Harding, Jonathan Emerson. And Cowboy Dan Trask looks like he has a stout piece, but he's just waiting to see which lane will progress. The 73 patiently on the bumper of Daniel Harding. And Waltz gets moved up the track. Harding sticks a nose under there and muscles his way down the backstretch. A lap and a half to go, and Harding is back up to second. White flag waves this time for Frankie Moulton. Heat number 1 is all the number 15 of Frankie Moulton, and Harding looking for his first heat race second place. Cowboy Dan Trask a solid third, coming to the checkered. And Ryan Ripley doing double duty today in his typical modified as well as the late model. We've got tire contact down the backstretch. A big puff of smoke comes from the 09 as him and Brent Roy rub tires. Jet Decker gets underneath the 26 as well, and he muscles up to second. Wenners tries to squeak underneath the 26 of Brent Roy, but Roy gets down to the bottom at the last second. Threading the needle, the 26 of Brent Roy gets down to the inside right across the nose of Connor Wenners. And he'll hold on to third. Ryan Ripley, first time we've seen him in a late model this season, and off to a great start. Out front over Jet Decker in the 01. Halfway flags are out. And this one looks to be a pretty calm heat race number 2 for the late models as everybody settles in single file. It is Ryan Ripley, Jet Decker, Brent Roy, Connor Wenners, Boss Hogg, Dave St. Clair, Ben Erskine, and Chris Matchett. Connor Wenners trying to maintain with Brent Roy. He was up to his bumper at one point, but has fallen back 1 car length. Wenners getting on the gas hard out of turn 4. We can see that thing cranked a little bit sideways. He's trying to crack the top 3, coming around for the white flag. And Ripley takes the white flag, but Jet Decker is the fastest car on the track right now, but he's going to run out of time. Heat number 2 is going to go to Ryan Ripley. And you can't get much closer of a start than that right off the line. These guys hit the gas at identical times and went through the first corner nice and even, but from the high side, Will Collins looked like a slingshot out of turn 2 when he quickly jumps out to a few car length cushion. Josh St. Clair in the 14 quickly gets around the 47 as well for second. And St. Clair, the fastest car on the track, he's reeling down Collins in a hurry. Here comes newcomer, the 30A of DC Alexander around the outside of Burgess for third. And I say newcomer to the season, that is. We have seen DC Alexander race late models here many times in recent years, but first time we've seen him this year in the Dirty 30. Will Collins fending off Josh St. Clair, putting up a great duel at the halfway point this time. They get into each other. Josh St. Clair with a little bit of a front bumper to the back end of Will Collins, coming around for 4 to go. And your front two are putting on a great show. Will Collins looking for his first heat win of the year. Two laps to go this time for your current points leader in the late models. Will Collins has been in the top 3 for the features a couple times this year, but seeking his first feature win of the season. White flag in hand, can he hold off St. Clair? And look who else is reeling in the top 3. It's Chris Thorne, just outside the top 3, and he looks just as fast, if not faster, than the top runners. Checkered flag for Will Collins.
Will Collins and Emerson trying to hit the tail end of that field as they go to green. Here we go. Back underway. Green flag is out. So Dan Trask slowing down on the outside, nearly stacked up the traffic behind him. And something wrong in the 73 happened on that restart. Pat Murphy struggling to hang on to the 86 and spins right in front of Jonathan Emerson. And Murphy sitting across the track there in turn 2. Here we go. Frank Moulton, usually strong when he gets to start up front. And looking to put it all down tonight to grab his first win of the season. Daniel Harding looking to settle into second, but can't do it. Dan Trask will move up into the second spot. Brings the 88 of David Gatchell into third. Harding pedaling hard on the outside of the number 88. 00 of Alex Waltz got loose onto the front stretch, but gathered it up. Now pulls to the inside of Daniel Harding as he continues to fade back a little bit on the outside. But Harding gets down in line in front of Waltz. Jonathan Emerson, first car on the high side now. He pulls a wheel up alongside Alex Waltz. That's back there for 5th and 6th. Emerson comes way out wide out of turn 4. Nearly made it 3 wide with the 09 of Ryan Ripley right behind him. That side-by-side battle for 6 between Scotty Hall, Emerson, Ripley, and Jet Decker. Trying to get it sorted out. Ripley settles back and drops in line behind Decker. Not going to make any headway there on the outside. Frank Moulton has built up a half straightaway lead, about a 1.5 seconds now over Dan Trask. And they're 3 wide out of turn 4. Scott Hall, Jonathan Emerson. Hall right in the middle. Emerson drives around him as Hall is starting to drop back a little bit. Couple drivers up front looking for their first podium of the year. Dan Trask, he's raced a lot of different things, but settling into that late model ride now. He runs in second with the 88 of David Gatchell in third. Daniel Harding still strong in the 4th position. Now Jet Decker is up into the 5th spot. Decker up from 10th into 5th. Ryan Ripley on the move as well. Ripley following him into the 6th position. Then we drop back. The 00 of Alex Waltz has faded back into 7th. Connor Wenner's 8th. Josh St. Clair 9th and Ben Erskine 10th as they complete lap 11. As we said, Frank Moulton, a pair of feature wins last season. Little tangle here on the front stretch. The 4 of Connor Winters had some problems, and they're stacking them up at the top of turn number 1. Scott Hall up there. They had the 26 of Brent Roy spinning, the 17 of Chris Thorne. Pace car in, green flag out. Frank Moulton still in charge, but he's got Jet Decker pinned right to the back end this time as they get through turn 3 and 4. David Gatchell getting sideways. Looks like might have been a little contact with the 38 of Daniel Harding, but those two guys starting to drop back. Gatchell again off the gas and stacks up traffic behind him. Meanwhile, up front, Jet Decker not letting Frank Moulton run away, and another spin over in turn 2. That's the 49 of Ryan Easonsee.
25 laps still to go, not even halfway, and they're slamming up there for the front row. Frankie Moulton and Jet Decker.
A couple cars locked together and is stacking up some traffic back behind them. The track is clear according to Mike Carlton, but some wrinkled fenders over there in turn 4. One of them's Dave St. Clair, and he's off the pace. Here we go. Yeah, all even down the back chute to turn 3. Jet Decker fast on the outside and trying to take over the lead. Decker gets it at the line by 29/100ths of a second. But Frank Moulton not giving up. Moulton stays there on the low side. Again, scoring gives the lead to Decker at the line that time. Frank Moulton finally gets a good run through 1 and 2 and takes the lead back for himself. Josh St. Clair looking to follow up. 20 down. We are halfway this time by. Another guy on the move is the number 09 of Ryan Ripley. Ripley is up to 4th, Alexander to 5th. Jet Decker once again showing strength in that number 01 on the high side, but loses 2nd and now loses 3rd. Tries to pull in line, but DC Alexander's right there. Good save by Decker. That was a close call. Everybody stays green. Decker thought he was clear, but wasn't quite. Josh St. Clair, high side on Frank Moulton, drives around him and takes over the lead. From 18th up into the lead. Ryan Ripley will jump to the outside now and take a turn on that 15 car. Wheel to wheel there for second. Ripley. Oh, they'll lean on each other on the front stretch. Moulton didn't give him room, but Ryan hangs on to it and takes over second. Moulton will settle it into third. Then DC Alexander, and here comes Chris Thorne. Thorne started the race in 22nd. He is now into 5th. Something gone amiss on the 25 of Will Collins. Sparks from underneath the 25. Collins off the pace. Thorne still on the move. Chris Thorne is now up to 4th as he was able to get by DC Alexander. 10 laps to go this time by. 10 to go on the 14 of Josh St. Clair. Leaders heading down the backstretch to turn number 3. St. Clair with a 2-car length advantage over Ryan Ripley. Third place starting to tighten up a little bit as well. Frank Moulton's got it. But the faster of the pair is that 17 of Chris Thorne. Thorne within a couple car lengths now. Chris Thorne's got it knocked down to about a car length behind the 15 of Frank Moulton. And laps winding down. Action all over the speedway here in the closing laps. Everybody fighting for position. Jet Decker trying to get himself back in the top 10. After that spin, he's working on Chris Matchett. Now put the 01 of Decker back into 10th. Inside the final 5. Third place is still up for grabs. Chris Thorne looking on the outside. Thorne right up to the back end. Caution flies for the 30 of DC Alexander on the backstretch. He is sitting driver's side to the traffic, and that will tighten up the field one more time. 5th caution of the race. St. Clair and Ripley get the green. And St. Clair shakes off the challenge. Ripley settles it right down into 2nd. Thorne and Moulton go at it, and there's Daniel Harding sitting there in 5th. Ripley applying the pressure at the back end. Third place still up for grabs. This time by 2 laps to go. Here they come. Chris Thorne around the outside. Thorne's got the 3rd spot. Loses a little bit of ground. Oh, there goes the... got a spin on the backstretch. That's the 00 of Alex Waltz. Chris Thorne trying to pedal it through turn 2. Moulton gets into him. Daniel Harding is going to come out of this with a 3rd place. Lots of time it's about staying out of other people's issues and being ready to react when the time is right, and he certainly did. So Dad's very happy. Let's send things down to trackside to Coastal Auto Parts Victory Lane with Nick.
Yeah, thank you, Ken, and let him hear it with the win. Josh St. Clair, everybody. Josh, I interviewed you in the pits earlier on, and you said, I'll see you over there later. That you were right.
This thing's been good the last couple of weeks, and I didn't change anything other than nut and bolt it from last week, and I can't complain one bit about it. That was a good run at the last few laps with Ryan there. He's an awesome driver, and I knew it'd be a tough battle, so it's pretty cool. St. Clair Ripley's up here for 1-2. That's always fun. Yeah, well, I'm glad I like him. I got to thank Dave's World, Larrabee Construction, Duvall's, DNC Electric, M&S Paint, Wentworth Family Grocery, my sister, who I always forget, all the kids, and this place is just awesome to come and race every weekend.
All right. Once again, Josh St. Clair, everybody. Ryan Ripley, nothing to be upset about. Your first time out here in the car. And to my understanding, Silas is going to take over the wheel at some point, but what do you got to get a new seat in there?
Yeah, I think it'd be like a pinball in mine right now. But no, first of all, I got to start with Darren. I mean, Darren owns this car, and I was just lucky enough for him to put me in it. Actually, when I was 15, he promised me I'd get to drive his late model if I won a Super Street race, and it took him 12 years to honor that.
All right, awesome run. I'm sure you were looking forward to that 4-to-go restart with one last chance along St. Clair.
Yeah, no, I got a lot of respect for Josh. I gave him one little bump to see what would happen, but he's one hell of a wheel man. He held it down, so congrats to him. And, I got to thank all my crew. Dad, Andy, Delano, Silas, Debbie, my grandfather, grandmother, aunt. I'm sure I'm forgetting a few here. Jimmy, I can't forget Jimmy. No, just a lot of people that make this possible. Wayne, Bill's Greenery. Yeah.
All right, we'll see you back out in the modifieds in a couple races. Hey, nice job. Daniel Harding, everybody, your first late model top 3. We'll let the crowd calm down a little bit so they can hear you talk. What a move to go 3 wide. You weren't scared there when you saw the white flag, huh?
No, I really, really wanted this.
I bet you did. And, did it have you a little nervous there going 3 wide? You saw Frankie open it up just enough for you, and you stuck her in there and weren't scared.
Yeah, I was a little nervous, but it worked.
You knew it was for 3rd?
Yeah.
Who do you got to thank for sponsors, buddy?
My dad, Austin, my Nana and Papa, Walt and Mitch, and a big thank you to Jeff Burgess.
All right, there you have it. Daniel Harding, 12 years old, first late model top 3.